Welcome to the Explainer. If you're in the market for a compact electric vehicle right now, you're looking at a landscape that is changing literally faster than ever. Today, we're going to completely demystify four of the most talked about contenders out there: the Volkswagen ID Polo, the Nissan Micra, the Renault 5, and the Kia EV2. We're going to break down the hard data, strip away all that marketing jargon, and help you find the absolute perfect lifestyle match for your driveway. But first, I want to ask you something directly. Do you really know what's powering your next electric car? When we shop for cars, we typically focus on the visible specs. We look at the horsepower, the total range, maybe the sticker price. But let me tell you, those numbers, they are just the tip of the iceberg. The real magic, the factors that actually dictate how long your car will last and how it genuinely feels to drive, well, those are hidden deep inside the battery cells and the motor coils. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda for today. Number 1, comparing city EVs. 2, the details that matter. 3, beyond horsepower, batteries. 4, the secret heart, motors. And finally, 5, which EV to choose. Let's get started. Section 1, comparing city EVs, the starting line. Before we get into the really complex physics of energy storage and magnetic fields, let's just look at the visible, familiar specs of these four vehicles. I want to draw your attention to a couple of massive outliers here. First, the Volkswagen ID Polo. It offers a staggering 435-liter trunk. I mean, in this compact segment, that is practically unheard of. It's almost venturing into the territory of a much larger class of car. On the flip side, check out the Kia EV2's battery. While everyone else tops out around 52 kilowatt hours, the Kia pushes up to a really impressive 61 kilowatt hour battery, which guarantees an incredibly solid range for extra urban driving. We've also got the Renault 5, which is the shortest of the bunch, perfect for ultra-tight city parking, while the Nissan Micra and the R5 share a smaller but still very respectable 326-liter cargo space. Section 2, the details that matter. Personalities on wheels. Numbers in a spreadsheet really only tell half the story. Let's move beyond the raw data and uncover the unique personality each of these cars brings to the road. Because honestly, when you buy a car, you aren't just buying specs, right? You're buying a driving experience. So think of me as your automotive matchmaker for a second. If you're someone who wants a stylish, tech-forward ride that just zips through tight city streets, the Renault 5, with its iconic design, agile multi-link rear suspension, and native Google integration, is totally calling your name. But maybe you're looking for something that feels a bit more rugged. Well, the Kia EV2 operates almost like a mini SUV crossover. It's got those square lines, a slightly higher seating position, a tiny front trunk or frunk, and V2L technology, meaning you can actually plug in and use the car to power your external devices. Pretty cool, right? Then you have the VW ID Polo, which is just the undisputed king of rational space and practicality. And finally, the Nissan Micra. It shares a platform with the R5, but it sacrifices just a tiny bit of trunk space to achieve this gorgeously smooth, rounded aesthetic. Section 3, beyond horsepower, batteries, the chemistry shift. All right, we've covered the design and the space. Now let's get into the slightly geeky but absolutely crucial details. I promise you, understanding this next part about battery chemistry is going to completely change how you view electric vehicles. This is where the magic really happens. We have two very different chemical approaches. First up, LFP, or lithium iron phosphate. Think of this as your indestructible marathon runner. Used in the base models of the VW and the Kia, LFP batteries can handle over 3,000 charging cycles. And the best part? You can plug it in and charge it up to 100% every single day without degrading the battery quickly. The trade-off is that they're a bit heavier and definitely more sensitive to freezing temperatures. On the other hand, we have NMC, or nickel manganese cobalt. Used in the Renault 5, the Micra, and the top-tier 61 kilowatt-hour Kia EV2, you can think of NMC as your lightweight sprinter. It's lighter, which improves the car's agility, and it performs so much better in the cold. But it has fewer life cycles, around 1,500 to 2,000, and you really want to limit your daily charging to 80% to preserve its long-term health. Now, these different internal architectures directly translate to your road trip experience. When it comes to maximum DC fast charging speeds, the Kia EV2 absolutely dominates here at 118 kilowatts, and it can go even higher in its long-range versions. The VW ID Polo follows at a very respectable 105 kilowatts, while the Renault 5 and Micra max out at 100 kilowatts. So if you're someone who frequently hits the highway and relies on fast charging at rest stops, those extra kilowatts on the Kia are absolutely going to shave precious minutes off your wait time. Section 4. The secret heart, motors, engineering deep dive. We know how these cars store their energy. Now, let's look at how they actually use that energy to move. You might have heard the term EESM thrown around in EV circles. It stands for Electrically Excited Synchronous Motor. Sounds like a mouthful, I know, but the concept is beautifully simple. Traditional EV motors use solid, permanent magnets inside the rotor. The EESM design, which is championed by Renault and Nissan, literally throws those permanent magnets in the trash. Instead, it wraps the rotor in copper wire. When electricity flows through that wire, it generates an electromagnetic field. No current, no magnet. Why does this matter? Well, the benefits are actually quite profound. First off, by ditching permanent magnets, these motors use zero rare earth materials. None. This is a massive win for manufacturing and completely avoids incredibly complex global supply chains. Second, it creates amazing highway efficiency. Permanent magnets create a constant drag, a sort of magnetic friction at high speeds. With EECM, the car can just dial down the magnetic field when you're cruising on the highway, saving significant energy. And finally, this isn't some wild experiment. It's a proven technology refined over 10 years in the highly successful Renault Zoe. So the crucial point is understanding how this impacts your drive. Pitting the EESM used by Renault and Micra up against the PSM, the permanent synchronous motor used by VW and Kia, reveals two very distinct paths. If your drive is a mix of city traffic and long stretches of highway, the EESM is your incredibly versatile champion. But if you want pure, simple mechanical reliability for stop-and-go urban driving, the PSM is the gold standard. The permanent magnets in the VW and Kia allow the motor to be highly compact, and they deliver that immediate, brutal torque that makes EVs feel so incredibly fast, right off the line at a traffic light. Section 5. Which EV to choose? Your final match. We have navigated the raw specs, the battery chemistry, and the complex physics of the motors. Now, let's resurface from this technical deep dive and deliver some practical, personalized buying advice. Let's connect everything we've learned directly to your daily life. If your priority is maximum cargo volume and an almost indestructible battery that will last you well over a decade of daily urban use, you want the VW ID Polo with that 37 kilowatt-hour LFP battery. If your commute is mostly navigating tight city corners and you really value a low-weight, highly agile, and stylish ride with brilliant Google software, the Renault 5 or the Nissan Micra are your perfect companions. And finally, if you need this car to do it all, if you want to make a long-term investment in a vehicle that can truly replace a gas car for long, extra-urban trips, the Kia EV2, with its massive 61 kilowatt-hour NMC battery and famous 7-year warranty, is exactly what belongs in your driveway. As we wrap up this analysis, I really want you to reflect on this core quote from our source material today. Evaluating the efficiency and durability of an electric car requires looking beyond horsepower. Today, you've done exactly that. You've learned how to look past the shiny showroom numbers and see the true engineering heart of a vehicle. You now know how battery chemistry dictates lifespan and how the very copper inside a motor changes your highway range. I genuinely want to thank you for sticking through this highly technical analysis and exploring the future of driving with me today. It's incredibly rewarding to break down these complex engineering marvels, and I hope you learned something valuable from this explainer today, because your perfect drive really is out there. I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. As we completely reshape the future of mobility in our cities, what matters most to you? Will your next car be defined by the heavy, eternal longevity of an LFP battery? Or will it be defined by the agile, lightweight performance of an NMC cell? It's a fascinating choice, and now it's completely yours to make. Thanks again for joining the explainer, and keep asking the big questions.